Do you believe birds simply fall asleep when the sun goes down and stay quiet until morning? If that sounds true, you are not alone. Most people imagine that once darkness arrives, birds disappear into the trees, close their eyes, and do nothing until sunrise. But what if the real story is much stranger than that? What if an entirely different world begins the moment people go inside and stop paying attention? Tonight, we are going to explore a side of bird life that most people never see, a hidden world that exists while neighborhoods become quiet, curtains close, and lights begin turning off one by one. And by the end of this video, you may never think about nighttime birds the same way again. Before we continue, take a moment to support the channel. If you enjoy discovering unusual facts about animals, press the like button and subscribe. And here is today's question. If you could secretly watch birds all night long, what do you think would surprise you the most? Let me know in the comments. Now, picture a normal evening. The sky slowly becomes darker, cars disappear from the streets, people head indoors, everything feels calm. To us, it seems like the day is ending, but for birds, this is one of the most important times of the entire day. As darkness approaches, birds begin making decisions that can affect their chances of surviving the night. They must choose where to go, where to rest, and which places feel safest. A poor choice can leave a bird exposed to weather, predators, or other dangers. That means the final hour before darkness is often much busier than people realize. Some birds search carefully for thick branches hidden by leaves. Others move toward locations they have used many times before. Many prefer places that are difficult to reach and difficult to see. And here is something surprising. Birds do not choose these places randomly. Many return to the same safe locations night after night. It's almost as if they have favorite bedrooms of their own hidden high above the ground. But the strangest part comes next. Not every bird immediately settles down. While people imagine birds becoming inactive the moment darkness arrives, hidden cameras have captured something very different. Some birds continue moving between branches. Some quietly change locations more than once. Others remain alert, carefully watching the area around them. It's almost like they're waiting for something. And that raises a fascinating question. If birds are supposed to be sleeping, why are some of them still awake long after the sun has disappeared? The answer begins with something happening in the darkness that most people never notice. And once hidden cameras revealed it, researchers started looking at nighttime bird behavior in a completely different way. The answer begins with something happening in the darkness that most people never notice. And once hidden cameras revealed it, researchers started looking at nighttime bird behavior in a completely different way. Imagine standing outside at 2 o'clock in the morning. No traffic, no voices, no movement. At least, that is what it looks like. But hidden cameras tell a different story. While the human world is asleep, small movements are still happening among the trees and bushes. A branch shakes slightly. A shadow shifts from one place to another. A bird that appeared completely settled suddenly changes position. At first, these movements seem unimportant. Then you realize they keep happening. Birds are not spending the entire night in deep sleep the way many people imagine. Instead, many remain aware of what is happening around them. A sudden sound, a movement below, a change in the wind. These things matter. For a small animal living outdoors, staying alert can make the difference between safety and danger. But this is where the story becomes even more fascinating. Some birds do something that surprises almost everyone. They gather together, not during the day, during the night. Hidden cameras have captured groups of birds resting close to one another in places where people rarely notice them. In daylight, these same birds may appear completely independent. Yet when darkness arrives, they sometimes choose company over solitude. Why? Because nighttime creates challenges that daylight does not. Cooler temperatures, reduced visibility, hidden threats. Being close to other birds can provide advantages that are difficult to ignore. And then there's another mystery. How do birds remain on branches for hours without falling? Think about that. Wind moves, branches sway, yet birds often stay perfectly balanced all night long. Many people never stop to wonder how remarkable that really is. Even while resting, their bodies are designed to hold onto branches automatically. It happens without effort, without conscious thought. Nature solved that problem long ago. But perhaps the strangest discovery of all is that the night is not truly quiet for birds. To us, it may seem silent. To them, it is full of information. Tiny sounds, distant movements, changes in the environment. Birds are constantly receiving signals that humans never notice. And sometime during those dark hours, something begins to happen, very slowly, almost invisibly. The first signs of a new day begin appearing long before sunrise. The sky still looks dark, the neighborhood still looks asleep, yet some birds already know morning is coming. And what they start doing next may be the most incredible part of their secret life after dark. And what they start doing next may be the most incredible part of their secret life after dark. Hours before the first sunlight appears, something begins to change among the trees. The darkness still covers everything. Most people are asleep. The streets are quiet, yet some birds are already awake. This is one of the biggest surprises hidden cameras have revealed. Birds do not wait until sunrise to begin a new day. Instead, many start preparing long before the sun appears over the horizon. At first, the changes are small. A bird opens its eyes. Another bird shifts to a different branch. One bird begins looking around more often. Then another does the same. Slowly, the tree starts becoming active again. What makes this so fascinating is that there is still very little light. To a person looking outside, it may seem far too early for anything to be happening, but somehow the birds already know morning is getting closer. Scientists believe birds have incredibly accurate internal clocks. These natural clocks help them predict changes in the day, even when the sky still looks dark. But hidden footage reveals something even more interesting. The birds do not all wake up at once. It happens like a chain reaction. One bird becomes active, then a few more, then even more. Before long, an entire area that seemed completely silent begins coming back to life. And then comes one of the most familiar sounds in nature, the first song. A single bird calls into the darkness. A few moments later, another answers, then another. Soon the quiet night begins filling with sound. Many people hear these early morning calls, but never stop to think about what they really mean. These birds are not singing randomly. They are announcing their presence. They are communicating. They are preparing for the busy hours ahead. In many ways, the morning begins long before humans realize it has started. And that may be the strangest truth of all. While people believe the day begins when they wake up, birds have often been awake and active for quite some time already. But there is one final piece of this story that makes everything even more remarkable. Because once the sun finally rises, most people only see the ending. They miss everything that happened before. And when you understand what hidden cameras revealed about those unseen hours, you start looking at every morning in a completely different way. And when you understand what hidden cameras revealed about those unseen hours, you start looking at every morning in a completely different way. The biggest surprise is not that birds survive the night. The biggest surprise is how much happens before the day even begins. While most people are sleeping peacefully, birds are making decisions, staying alert, reacting to sounds, finding safe places, and preparing for the hours ahead. By the time the first person opens a curtain or steps outside, much of the story is already over. We usually notice birds when they are flying, feeding, or singing, but those are only the moments we happen to see. The hidden part of their lives happens in darkness, a place where most human eyes are not watching. And that secret world is far more active than many people imagine. Perhaps that is why birds continue to fascinate people all over the world. No matter how often we see them, there is always another mystery waiting to be discovered. A bird sitting quietly on a branch may have already spent the entire night making choices that helped it survive until morning. A song you hear at sunrise may actually be the final chapter of a story that began hours earlier. And maybe that is the real truth behind the secret life of birds after dark. It is not a world filled with magic, it's something even more fascinating. A hidden world that exists around us every single night, whether we notice it or not. So the next time you hear birds singing early in the morning, take a moment and think about everything that happened before that sound reached your ears. Because while you were sleeping, an entire world was already awake. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and joining the channel for more fascinating animal mysteries. And before you go, tell me this: what surprised you most about the secret life of birds after dark? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read your thoughts.